Well, again, it was a monster session for the market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 331 points, finished at yet another record high. Investors, well, they continue to rotate into the undervalued blue chip names in sectors that are associated with what I'm calling terra firma. By the way, after the close, Five Below shares popped on big earnings beat, 8.5% same-store sales. And here's the thing, strong guidance for the holiday season. And today, one of the big winners was Titan Machinery, up almost 14%. The retailer of agricultural and farm equipment following in the steps of farm equipment maker Deere, whose shares are up 45% this year. The question is, what's driving this phenomena, a robust farm economy? Well, you remember the old saying, you can't keep them down on the farm? Well, now you can't keep them off the farm. You know, for only the second time in 100 years, there's been an increase in farmers 35 years and younger of age. In fact, 69% of these millennial farmers have college degrees. Also, from 2007 to 2012, Hispanic farmers are up 21%, American Indian farmers up 5%, black farmers up 12%. It's all great news for the heartland. Although it's a nationwide phenomena, my special farm investigating report is ready. There's some investments for you at wstreet.com on this. But right now, let's talk about what's really driving it. I want to bring in Lindsey Lusher Shute, National Younger Farmers Coalition co-founder and Hardy Roots farm owner. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Lindsey.
Thanks for having me.
How long you been in farming?
Well, our farm was launched in 2004, so about 13 years now. What
made you do it? Like, first, give me your background. Are you from a farm background?
I have farming a couple generations back in my family, but I grew up in a suburb of Columbus, Ohio, and I started farming with my husband Ben right here in New York City, actually in a community garden. And we, through gardening here in the city and through community-supported agriculture and learning from farmers who were supplying us right here in the city, we learned that we could be farmers too, and we started our farm then.
Isn't that what's going on here? Farming has somehow become hip among millennials. Now, I know we've got this organic food movement, you've got these TV shows, you've got these chefs, and everyone's from farm to the table. Is that what's sort of driving this movement?
That's definitely part of it. The good food movement is certainly part of it. But I think it's also, millennials are looking for a way to make an impact on the world, a very positive impact. And they feel like farming is a way that you can do that. You can grow great food for your community. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be a business person. And plus, you can be outside. You don't have to be a desk job and looking at your phone and your computer all day. It's an opportunity to be active and a business owner.
What about revolutionary things that have happened on the farm? Because if you talk, we talk about the market all the time. Mm-hmm. It's all about revolutionary things in technology, in medicine, revolutionary things in medicine. Are we seeing the same sort of brain thrust driving innovation in farming as well?
Well, one of the exciting things is that we're seeing farmers driving that innovation themselves and developing their own appropriate technology for on-farm use. One of the greatest innovations for small farms in recent years is a lettuce harvester that actually allows small farmers to compete with much larger scale California farms with their own hoop house and sell to their local grocery store or restaurant.
When the farm industry was in trouble, and this is a ways back, but it's still, most folks remember it, you know, you had people were being foreclosed on, you had Farm Aid, Willie Nelson.
That's right.
One of the big problems were these giant corporate farms. Mm-hmm. Now, I know an overwhelming percentage of farms are still owned by families. Some of them are large families, but are we going to see a reversal in the trend of the smaller farms? And is there anything that can be done with Washington, D.C.? You know, they're throwing around trillions of dollars. Big business has its hand out. Is there anything that could be done to revitalize the heartland and even help farmers even more?
Well, that's a great question. You're right. In the 80s, we did face a farm crisis, and that farm crisis really stays with us, right? And that's why we have so few young people in agriculture today. Only 6% of farmers are under the age of 35. For every farmer under the age of 35, we have 6 over the age of 65. So the reason we have this gap is because so many farm kids in the 80s were told that there wasn't opportunity there, and so they went to the cities to find alternative occupation. Right. Congress could do a lot to help the nation's young farmers. We have, of course, a farm bill out due next year, and there's many opportunities there. But right now, in the question of the tax overhaul, there's a couple of things. One, I don't think we agree on this point, but I'll tell you the Affordable Care Act is one of the most helpful programs for young and beginning farmers and all small entrepreneurs across the country. It's the health plan that was available to me when I had my first child.
Right.
It was the only option, really.
Right.
So in a recent survey that we did of thousands of beginning farmers across the country, actually the Affordable Care Act came up as the #1 program
Really?
for them. But in terms of taxes, one real missed opportunity, there's a lot of talk about the estate tax
Sure.
and how that impacts farmers, but really it's capital gains that's a much bigger issue.
Really?
And by making some sort of reduction in capital gains for the sale of farmland to beginning farmers, to veteran farmers, that can make a huge impact and would incentivize the generation of retiring farmers now to sell their land to that next generation who needs it.
I think also, though, can they make money? Can millennials who ditch the suit for the cowboy boots make money?
Well, I'll say from my experience, yes. We are able, with a lot of support from consumers who buy directly for us, so we get a nice margin on our products, that we are able to support ourselves and our family, and we employ 10 people.
The general public is buying into this big time, so they don't mind
That's
paying
right.
a premium. So I would imagine that this is starting to become a sweet spot. And I got to tell you, congratulations. From New York City to a farm, and you're keeping people fed, and you're doing all the right things. I appreciate it. I think this is an untold story, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Lindsey. Appreciate it.